Today, we are doing a little update on Lil Kelpy. There's a few things that surprised me, things I can't predict. I would have never guessed 2 weeks ago that this jit would still be relevant, still being talked about. I'm still seeing his name pop up, and there's no haterade involved here. As y'all know, he is mostly famous for getting sucker punched by Almighty Suspect. It got millions of views, and now Lil Kelpy has made a name for himself. He's doing interviews, reaction channels are talking about him. Getting sucker punched might be the greatest thing that's ever happened to him. This whole thing reminds me of an incident from maybe 5-6 years ago. Autistic bodybuilder Jason Genova used to send his fan base to harass popular fitness YouTubers, one of these guys being the Liver King's older brother, Rich Piana. And when Rich Piana saw Jason at an expo, he slapped him up without knowing that he was mentally handicapped. The idea of a roid enthusiast smacking up a handicapped kid made headlines, especially since people didn't know the context. Because of that, Jason Genova became really popular, especially since Rich Piana made an apology and collaborated with him. Now, Almighty Suspect hasn't apologized. He also doesn't want a fair fight with Kelpy. So let's see how Kelpy responded.
Called him out several times after that. I'm not really doing it no more just because I'm trying to get my own money and not focus on the internet beef, not give him no more clout. But, I called him out. He declined a boxing match. He declined a squabble, you know what I'm saying? So kind of just stands on, yeah, he kind of did act like a he kind of is still acting like a so I'm going to call him a
What do you think will happen if you guys were to run into each other?
If we run into each other, I'm gonna catch him, but I don't know where. He's in a different bracket than I am, and he's cool with No Jumper. He's working there. When I pull up to No Jumper, the security's kind of like making sure we're not in the same room. We both got people on us, kind of keeping us separate. So I don't know. I'm basically gonna have to catch him in the streets, and I'm not looking for that. But if it happens, it happens.
I hate to say this, but Lil Kelpy is right. Almighty Suspect started wailing on him when his guard was down, and now Kelpy is saying, hey, let's finish this. Suspect doesn't want to do a fair match or a one-on-one, and it doesn't make any sense. You're willing to hit someone on camera for free, but as soon as money is involved, just to give the other person an opportunity to hit back, that's when you say no. The only reason why you would say no is if you felt remorse or some kind of regret, but that's not the case. He's not apologizing, and he doesn't want to fight. So is this 100-pound Wero about to roll up on Suspect? We're all laughing right now, expecting nothing to happen, but it's always the babyface dudes that are the craziest. While we're on the subject of Kelpy, we all know Gunna. Recently, he snitched. All the wannabe gangsters were pissed at him, saying, I never do that to anyone in my crew. You don't even have a crew to snitch on. Now, Lil Kelpy chimes in saying, you won't ever find no plea deals or statements with my name on them. Yes, Kelpy, I believe you. If you're living like a regular white person in Orange County, going to Starbucks and mowing your lawn, then you're probably never going to be in a situation where you need to make a statement or accept a plea deal. YSL was murdering people and selling kilos of fentanyl. This fool is managing meth heads on OnlyFans. You can't compare yourself. And honestly, this dude probably would cooperate like most people would if he was facing 10 years. I'm so sick of average suburban kids acting like they follow some sort of G code. Lil Kelpy is embarrassing the white community with his antics. Now, there were rumors that he was going to be a Crip or a Sereno, so he met some dudes wearing blue, and he's like, hey guys, I want to be down with the streets. And they're like, okay, we'll jump you in, prison style. And they left him with the sore butthole. After the rear penetration, he was like, am I a Crip now? And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Turns out the dudes wearing blue were cops. Anyway, I'm out.